Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, it's Friday. Friday's request day. Today's map was requested by Overlord over on Twitter. That's at Edge of the Sofa for those of you that wish to do the same. It's been voted in by the BonBon Buddies over on Patreon, and it is a creator that we have done 3 times in the past. Well, will this be a map that you'll want to, or a map that you'll want to undo? Well, let's have a look at today's review to find out. But before we do any reviewing, one little case, one little thing to do. You know what to do, don't you? That's right, hitting that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me go a little bit more every single day. So if you're part of that 10% that hit that like button, thank you very much. Today's map is North Coast Mundu by Karose. Will this Mandu be a map to Wanu or a map that you'll want to undo? I've been practicing that all day. There's your start square. The intersection there is very slick and you'll like all the intersections today, I think. The terrain heights look like that. We have some rivers running down and kind of like them. Not entirely, but I do kind of like them. The resources, yep, swathes of fertile land and hints of the other stuff as well. And then off to the workshop. A few things to subscribe to, not too many. Network extensions to the Clara map theme and the Clara colour correction, as well as the generic tree pack and the Norfolk Island pine. A little nod to me as well for reviewing their previous map too. Thank you very much for the little promotion there, Karose. I don't deserve it, but thank you. Okay, let's follow the roads over and through. Now, this first road bridge is pretty slick. And then you'll see we go into a cutting. Now, a couple of maps ago, we had a cutting that I moaned about and said, nope, should have gone around it. Well, this is an example of a map where the cutting cannot go around it. It has to go through this, and it does kind of make some kind of organic sense. And so I'm happy with it, generally. That's what I'm going to say. I'm quite happy with it. Intersection out the other side looks very slick and sleek as well. We come up here and have a little look-see at it from above. Yeah, I'm all good with all of that. Everything is pretty fine with it. We've even got some very nice slick merge lanes going on there. Yes, it is 3 into 2, but it's very slickly done. So well done. Thank you very much for that. I do like that. Following the highways along, there's quite a few roads on the map without being too many. And there is a direct route to the start square from here. We're going to go a little bit off the beaten path to have a look around the rest of the map, just so you can see what's going on. So not so much a direct route today. Would have made the show about 2 or 3 minutes quicker, but I don't feel that it really matters that much today. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, down to the next intersection. This is another one of these good ones. A little bit of a road glitching going on there. It's not too bad across the map as a whole, but there are 1 or 2 minor glitchy type areas that could be tidied up. But again, a very nice intersection, very well done. I think this is actually hand drawn rather than plopped, so plaudits for that as well. Always credit for anybody that plops down I mean, if they make their own intersection or they plop one and then they do a little bit of custom work to it to make it work afterwards as well. It's always good. Down the hill to this little lowish bridge. It's lowish, but it's not too low like that. And I like the cutting on the side of the road going up on the other side too. Plenty of good work going on there. Level crossing here, that's fine. We're well away from the city centre, so that won't be causing too many traffic issues. And then we've got another perfect looking bridge here as well. Plenty of good stuff going on. I say good stuff without being outstandingly exciting, but nothing that you could ever mark down. Like this road here, nothing wrong with it. What more would you want to do? There's a little bit of tree detailing just to accentuate the road, just to let you know that it's there. And then there's plenty of build plane on either side. It's just basically absolutely fine, really. I do like this next intersection. I'm going to call this intersection the 4 intersection. I think you'll work out why in a moment. There we are. Yeah, I'm going to call it the 4. And everything about it I like, especially where you see the traffic. Look where the traffic's using that shortcut lane. That is smart. All the other lanes obviously going to like dead end locations, and so yeah, no traffic down there. The one place you do want that cut is being used fairly well. So all credit for that. That is kind of, for me, that's the high point on the whole map, really. Then we come and have a look at this intersection. Now, we've got a little bit of glitchy terrain. I don't like this too much. We do also have a little bit of blue mantle underneath the road over here. But yes, the whole terrain of this, I think, just needs to be tidied up a bit. You can't just get away with upgrading those roads. A little bit of glitching on the side of the road there as well. Yeah, you can't just get away with upgrading those roads to ground level or to elevated. The whole thing won't work. I know, because I tried. Not on this particular one. One of the intersections coming up ahead. I thought I'd just do a little bit of demonstration. And you know what? It was going to take a lot of work to tidy it up properly. It would have, when I say a lot of work, it would have needed me to do proper terraforming. And that's not something I really have time to do within a show. We have a little bit of blue mantle here as well. Just a minor bit, all minor work. Now we are using the Clara theme and LUT. Clara, the theme, I love the Clara theme. It is really good for anything tropical or warm. It's got a really good sand texture, lovely water textures as well. And I quite like the cliff textures too. I mean, it all comes together really nicely. I'm not the biggest fan of the LUT, but I do think it does work on today's map. So credit there as well. Nice intersection there. I'm very happy with just the basic tree detailing, and there all kind of fits as well. And then yes, we've got here. I did actually do some work here. You'll see the fade in a moment where I gave up. So I do the work, I give up, I just cut straight to this. I weren't playing about. I don't think I spent about 3 or 4 minutes on it, and it wasn't getting any better. So rather than waste any more time, I'll just say it needs re-terraforming and doing from scratch, in my opinion. Okay, next intersection here is the Start Square intersection. Looks really nice as well. I just love the selection of intersections. Maybe this one is plopped. I suspect it is, but again, it looks spot on. I would say though that this does need terraforming. I would definitely, don't like the big cliff edge there. It's just a bit too sharp, a bit too close. So okay, we'll do some terraforming, shall we? We're going to start by smoothing it out, and we've still got a bit of a cliff edge going on there. Make a slightly stronger brush. That's not cleaning that out either. So what we'll do instead is we'll grab the slope brush and just like slope the whole thing out. We'll force the terrain to do what we want it to do. Won't concentrate too much on the opposite side. I'll just, this side's the more important side. Just for the show purposes. So yeah, that's a lot better. I could spend a little bit more time on all of that to make it a little bit better, more so. But I feel it's just a little bit cleaner than like these sharp edges as well. Okay, heading towards the Start Square, into Start Square, and what have we got in today's Start Square to review today? It's our old friend, armsplams. I love armsplams' work. One of the things with armsplams' work is they don't over-decorate their basic buildings. What you got here is 2 parts. The front is the hospital. These 2 wings on the back are separate assets, and you can plop them down separately. You can make all sorts of different shapes and sizes of Thai general hospitals as you like. Factoids, because factoids, and I did have one. How about soccer football. When the first World Cup competition was held in Uruguay in 1930, only 4 European countries sent their teams on the 3-week boat trip to South America. Long old journey. Now, without cheating, what were those 4 teams? Okay, I'll leave you to think on that one. Thai General Hospital by armsplams. That is today's asset of the day, and I love it. Absolutely. Yes, yeah. No running off to wiki or anything like that. Can you name the 4 teams that got sent? I'm thinking now. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, who would it be? We've got a little bit of Blue Mantle under here as well. There it is, little hint on that side. It's actually kind of tucked away. You kind of almost let that one go. Let me think. Right, so if I had to guess, Italy went to a lot of the early tournaments, so Italy was probably one of them. France, I would imagine, being like the big guns of the early World Cup. So France and Italy, and then Sweden were involved a lot, weren't they? Back in those days, so possibly Sweden. Central Europe was quite the thing as well, so like possibly Hungary or Austria. I'm guessing. If I had to guess, I would go Hungary. So there you go. That's my guess. Stick it in the comments. Don't you cheat. We're going to take a right here. It's a slightly more interesting route. There is actually something down the rail route down here that you'll want to have a look at. The rail, by the way, it undulates slightly, but it's all well within. Eyeball check. It's absolutely fine. If you really want to get the slide rule out, you might complain a bit. But yeah. Stick your answers down below. The 4 European nations to have gone to the 1930 Soccer World Cup in Uruguay. And hopefully, one of us will get it right. I will check and I'll stick the answers in tomorrow's show. There you go. I'll do the answers in tomorrow's show. I'll look it up and let you know how many I got right. I'm going to go, Italy, Sweden, France, Austria. And I'm probably got some of those wrong. Definitely wasn't England. I'll tell you that right now. Definitely wasn't England. Right, we'll follow the rail around this way. Now it gets interesting in a moment. You see the change of terrain here. We're going to go rail over rail here, okay? Rail over rail. Now, where's that rail come from? Now, our rail's going off this way, and it bends off to the right and goes into a little tunnel. And then it loops around. And see, we've just got the elevation down slowly and smoothly. And it comes out there, and that's a nice little loop around. It's not the slickest, but it's still very good work. It is very good work, and I think all credit for that as well. Could have easily not done anything like that on the map, and I'm just glad to see it. Okay, heading off towards the fog now, which means it's going to be time for the intermission, and we'll come back straight afterwards, and we'll do all the extra stuff that we always do, shall we?
Are you bored with the standard vanilla bridges? Have you seen those lovely custom bridges but don't know how to use them? Ooh, very nice. Then you need the Beginner's Guide to Custom Bridges by BonBonB. Click the information button below.
And so back to North Coast Mundu by Karose. Shipping routes. The shipping routes split and they run parallel. Not entirely sure why they split and run parallel, but they do. And then they come into this right angle junction, which is always ugly. And then we have this all feeding into the river system. And we've got another parallel running shipping lane along there. Into the river system. This is a little bit tight on the right there. I think we'll have some shipping scraping along the inside of that pillar. And then if we follow this upstream, you'll notice we've got a very low bridge there, which will go crunching through. And the very low bridge over here that will go crunching through as well. Bit of a fail there, I'm afraid. We've got there is a dead end halfway up the river. That's fine. Water flow, we definitely have good water flow going down the rivers. I say not entirely sold on the rivers. We'll look at them in a little bit more detail in a moment. Past the start square, good water flow there. No problem with it as a working river. It's just the realism issues. Like here, we've got these rivers and we've got these all the way down. We've got these little coves, spiking into the edges of the rivers. And I like here. How would this have evolved as a river? I don't know how this would have actually ever worked. I'm okay with the dead end, but the whole shape of it doesn't feel natural. But it's not the worst. It's not the worst. The worst is to come in a moment. I like the idea of what's about to come in the moment, but I just don't buy it. I just don't buy it at all. And that is this island in a lake that looks like an Oxbow Lake river Oxbow Lake trying to form there. But if you look at how high that mound is, that's what, 60 meters high? Yeah, I just not really buying that as a natural formation. It's a neat idea. Turns the map more into a fantasy map than it is a realistic map. But it's a good bit of fun. Then the rivers. The river just doesn't have a really much of a natural shape to it. There's the lumps and the bumps and the gouges in from the sides, like here on the left again there. And it goes out to the sea. Let me show you what I mean. There's a really bad example, or a good example over here. This one here. Don't buy it. See the amount of water. There's a lot of foam coming down here. A lot of water. That's going to take a lot of sediment downstream with it. Here we've got, well, hardly any water motion at all because it's a dead end. So that sediment coming down the stream is going to start dropping it off. As it comes around the corner here and the water slows down, it would drop off sediment. So what we would have, getting the old tool out again, I'll just drop the brush strength right down, slightly larger brush. It would drop sediment here and it would start building up. And it would start building up a little bit more like that. And then you would start getting that this little river section here, it would start cutting off, wouldn't it? It would just start, and then sort of like the sediment would drop a little bit further back, a little bit further downstream, and that whole river section would eventually get cut off, and then the water would evaporate from it, and there would just basically not be, well, these spikes at all. So in terms of realism, I'm not really buying into those too much. I don't feel they add anything at all. But I do like the actual idea of the three rivers. I kind of like that. I also kind of like the beaches. Not entirely buying into them, but I do like that. I mean, it's a good effort. It is a very, very good effort. The shapes of the beaches just don't quite feel there. I like the cliffs. I like the locations of the beaches. It's just the smoothness of the beaches as they enter the sea. I don't know. It's a good effort. It actually is a good effort. And there you go. Let's pull back, have one last look at the map as a whole. And I ask you now, what do you think of this map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Well, only you can decide. What do I think? I think it might be in there. I think it might be. I don't hate this map at all. In fact, I think it's their best map so far that we've seen. Out of the 4, they've never got beyond 8 stars before. We're going to start off by giving them half of that. We're going to give them 4 stars for aesthetics. I think the map holds up for aesthetics. I don't think it's blindingly brilliant. I mean, it is a lowish 4, but I think it does deserve a 4th star. Detailing, not bad. Not bad. We have a number of little minor issues throughout the map, and nothing that really stands out as being, you've got to give an extra star for this. So for that I can give it a solid 3. I can give it a solid 3 for detail. Gameplay potential, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not broken. There's lots of options, lots of ways to go with it, and I don't think there's going to be too many issues at all, so I think we'll go 4 stars. North Coast Mundu by Karose. Yes, Karose has finally cracked that map making thing that is map making. And yeah, the 7 and 8 star maps that we've seen in the past from them, I think they are now a thing of the past. A well and truly a distant past as we move on to bigger and better things. I knew it would happen, you know. Thanks Overlord for suggesting that one. I'm really glad to have seen it. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. Old map on the screen now that's got the vote put on it if you want to go and vote on another map. And yeah, come on, let's do one more tomorrow, shall we? Should be a good one.